Okay, so for the first test, I've got the microphone basically wedged into the between the helmet and the cheek padding. I haven't done any cutting or anything like that of the cheek padding. I didn't want to take the chance of my ham-fistedness destroying my helmet, so it's just kind of jammed in there, and it's using it's the Drift HD mic, the official one, with the little bit of foam cover that comes with it, and it's just to the right of my mouth. So, oh, and we're on a gain of 1 bar on the camera. So this is riding at 40 miles an hour and I'm talking normally. Now let's turn round and go a bit quicker. Okay, so this is at 50 miles an hour and again I'm talking normally. Testing, 50 miles an hour, talking normally. The second test, I've now got the microphone still in the same place, still with the original little foam rubber cover. So the microphone gain sensitivity is now on 2 bars on the camera. So let's give it a whirl. Okay, so this is the original microphone cover, now doing 40 miles an hour with the gain set to 2, and I'm speaking normally. So I'm now travelling at 50 miles an hour with the microphone gain set to 2 bars, the original foam rubber microphone cover, speaking normally. So test 3, this is the standard Drift microphone with the standard foam rubber cover with a mic sensitivity dialed all the way up to 3. Okay, we're travelling at 40 miles an hour with the standard microphone to the right of my mouth, foam rubber cover, sensitivity 3. And now we're travelling at 50 miles an hour, sensitivity 3, with the standard microphone cover. And I'm talking normally. Okay, for the next test, I've now moved the microphone, so the microphone is now positioned right in front of my face, kind of at the tip of my nose, which means the sniffing will be much worse. But the tips on those YouTube videos, that series, said that the closer the better once you've sorted out all of the other problems. Because it's now closer to my mouth, I'm trying it with a gain setting of 0 bars. Give it a chance on that one as well. So let's see what happens. Okay, so this is microphone sensitivity 0, microphone right in front of my mouth at 40 miles an hour with a standard Drift setup. Now travelling at 50 miles an hour, standard Drift microphone with a standard Drift foam rubber cover, with the microphone positioned at the tip of my nose. I'm speaking normally. Okay, for the next test, I've now moved the microphone, so the microphone is now positioned right in front of my face, kind of at the tip of my nose. Okay, so this is microphone sensitivity 0, microphone right in front of my mouth at 40 miles an hour with a standard Drift setup. Now travelling at 50 miles an hour, standard Drift microphone with a standard Drift foam rubber cover, with the microphone positioned at the tip of my nose. I'm speaking normally. Okay, for the next test, microphone's still right in front of my face. Still all set up as it was for the last test, but now the microphone sensitivity is set to 1 bar. So that's 40 miles an hour with the central position of microphone, sensitivity setting 1, and speaking normally. Now travelling at 50 miles an hour, central position, microphone sensitivity 1, speaking normally. This is the standard drift microphone cover, central position, with the microphone gain sensitivity set to 2 bars on the camera. So, there we go. 40 miles an hour, central position, microphone sensitivity 2, speaking normally. And again, central position, microphone sensitivity 2, speaking normally, but now at 50 miles per hour. Okay, next test. This is with the microphone still in the central position, at the tip of my nose. Now on sensitivity 3, and with the foam rubber from drift. So it's 40 miles an hour, sensitivity 3, central position, speaking normally. We'll go for one more at 50 miles an hour, and then I'm going to go and see if the shop's open yet, see if I can get myself some fur. So now travelling at 50 miles per hour. Sensitivity set to 3 on the camera and speaking normally. Okay, I'm back at my spot on that road I like, and I've nipped 2 boys. Tried to get myself an off-cut of faux fur, but there wasn't an off-cut available, so I had to buy a piece off the roll, but luckily the lady in there was quite nice and let me buy a tiny amount, so 77 pence worth of faux fur, of which 76.5 pence worth is probably still sat in the bag at my home, and half a penny worth is now wrapped around the microphone. And this is trying it with the fur around the microphone with the foam rubber section that was provided by Drift, still in place, and the whole thing secured by the wonderful technology of 2 elastic bands. So we'll give this a try. At the minute, the sensitivity of the microphone is on 1 bar. Okay, so 40 miles an hour, sensitivity 1, with the fur in place, talking normally. It does mean you get a mouthful of fur occasionally, which isn't so pleasant. Okay, so this is 50 miles an hour, sensitivity 1 with the fur going up my nose. And I'm speaking normally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And let's start speaking a little bit louder. So this is a slightly raised voice now, more projection than shouting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Try to get the fare out of my nose. Okay, I've now changed the microphone sensitivity to 2 in the hope that the fare does something magical that means it doesn't go all distorted as it did before. And going on the advice that the better, or the higher the gain the better. So this is going to be a test of microphone sensitivity 2 with the fairy cover on the microphone and the foam rubber cover still in place. See how this goes. And I'm going to do this test in a slightly different place, I think, because I'm running out of petrol. I need to go and get some more. Anyway, this is 40 miles an hour, sensitivity 2, with the fare in place, speaking normally, and 50 miles an hour with the fare in place, speaking normally. Okay, and now I've got the microphone sensitivity all the way up to setting 3 with the fare in place. The microphone's almost next to my mouth now. I had to move it down a bit because I was fed up of getting fare up my nose. Okay, so we're doing 40 miles an hour, sensitivity 3 with the fare. And now we're doing 50 miles an hour on 70. Not quite. 50 miles an hour on sensitivity 3 with the fare in place. And now I'm going to go and get some petrol, so I think I'll stop and set the sensitivity down to 1. Okay, I'm now back down to sensitivity 1 with the fare in place. This is 50 miles an hour. And now I'm travelling at 60 miles an hour. So this is the fastest test I've done so far. It would be wonderful if this sounds good, but I would imagine everything's going to disappear in wind noise because I can barely hear myself speak. Okay, getting ready for the 70 miles an hour test. So that's 70 miles an hour with the fare in place on the microphone sensitivity 1. I'm talking pretty normally, and I can make myself a little bit louder, but I suspect that that's just going to get to the realms of distortion. That's 70 miles per hour. If you can hear that clearly enough, then I'll be over the moon. Now, petrol calls.